Hi. My name's Kobe English. I'm a sophomore in political science and professional writing.
My name's Anne Frankie. I'm a freshman in English education.
And we're doing the background of Sparta. So Sparta was a prominent city-state in ancient Greece and eventually became known as the dominant military land power in ancient Greece. Sparta was recognized as the overall leader in the Greco-Persian War. Sparta also was victorious over Athens in the Peloponnesian War from 431 to 404 BC. Sparta's rule ended after a defeat by Thebes in the Battle of Leuctra in 371 BC. However, it remained independent until Roman conquest. Fun fact, there is a word for having love and admiration for Sparta, and it is laconophilia. Sparta remained independent and refused to join a pan-Greek movement, which meant refusing Alexander the Great's request. This is a little bit of Sparta's government. Sparta was an oligarchy. The state was ruled by two kings of two hereditary families, the Agide and the Eurypontid, both supposed descendants of Heracles. The kings were in charge of the military, religious, and judicial practices. They were the chief priests, maintained communication with the Delphian sanctuary, and exercised the highest authority in politics. Not all Spartans were considered people of the state. Only those who had undertaken the Spartan education process were eligible, which are known as the Agoge, which Annie will talk about later. Non-citizens are categorized as either Perioikoi or Helots. Perioikoi are free inhabitants of Spartan territory, and Helots were state-owned serfs. A little bit about Sparta's economy. Spartans were debarred by law from trade or manufacture. This lied in the hands of the Perioikoi monopoly. This monopoly was one of the richest territories of Greece. Spartans were mostly poets, sculptors, ambassadors, magistrates, governors, and soldiers. Conspicuous displays of wealth was discouraged.
Life in Sparta. So at the beginning, since they were born, Spartan infants had to prove their strength. They were inspected by the elderly to see if they were disformed or sickly, and if they were thrown away basically, either to die of exposure or to sometimes they were picked up by travelers. Boys were also bathed in wine because it was believed that it would make them stronger. They were taught to never fear solitude or darkness. Boys would start the Agoge at age 7, and they would serve and live there until age 30, and they would be on active duty until age 60. In the Agoge, they would be underfed. That would force them to steal, but if they were caught, they were punished severely. Hazing was also very common in the Agoge. The practice of the stealing and the punishment forced them to be stealthy and strategic. Most Spartan boys only wanted to be a soldier as a profession. That was the greatest honor, especially dying in battle was the greatest thing that could happen. Agriculture and other careers were left to the lower classes and mostly their helot slaves. They would also, this is, I don't know, this is it's not exactly proven, but it's I don't know what I'm looking for, I'm sorry. They would force their slaves to get excessively drunk to show the negative effects of alcohol. Women's roles. So women's roles in Sparta were very evolved for their time. They could own property, and they did in fact own more than 1/3 of Sparta. Girls were given an education in both arts and athletics and encouraged to think for themselves. Mothers raised the children alone, basically with no help from the fathers. Men spent most of the time at the barracks, leaving the women to take care of everything outside of the army, so basically the household was run by the women. Men were expected to marry at age 30 and women at age 20. Marriage was mostly just viewed as a way of procreation and not necessarily an emotional, by two people who loved each other. This is Sparta.
Okay.